And so we have a look at this passage. As I said, to sum up, it operates on two levels. First of all, a specific prophecy of events which will take place in the latter half of the Great Tribulation period, immediately before the second coming of Christ. And also a general insight into the spiritual war between God, Jesus Christ, Michael and the good angels, and the devil and his fallen angels. Now, a lot of people are skeptical even about the existence of the devil and even about even the existence of God. Some Christians trying to play down the devil, that he it's a bad sort of inclination and so on. The Bible is very clear that there is a personality who is revealed in Scripture, who is Satan, which means the adversary, who's the opponent of God, who's the adversary. He exists. He's there to work through people who are under his control. So why do you have demonically inspired leaders in various countries of the world today? Why do you have a culture which is clearly antichrist, which actually glorifies evil? Because Satan is working through his people on the earth. And if you try and explain it any other way, you have a problem. You have to ask, well, where does evil come from? Why do we choose evil rather than good? There is a malignant power which is working behind the scenes to bring to pass things which are evil. And he's called by Jesus, actually he's called the God of this world. In other words, he's the God who this world is worshipping. And all the evil which is going on in the world is caused by him. We shouldn't have the idea that he is equal to God. He is actually a created being who has fallen. And in the end, when it comes to the ultimate contest between God and Satan, it's really no match. I mean, it's total victory to the Lord. But we shouldn't also have the idea that he's not there and he's not powerful. He has two strategies to people. One is to sort of try and make them think that he's not there, and the other is to be so obsessed with him that they become kind of looking for demons under every single little illness which you have, which is not the case. But we have to recognize that he is there, he is active, and he is the enemy. And looking at this passage here, we see that it speaks about various signs and various symbols. One of the other features about the book of Revelation is it uses a lot of symbols, a lot of signs. You don't take them literally. First verse actually says, a great sign appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and on her head a garland of 12 stars. He's not saying one day you're going to look up in the heavens and you're going to see this woman there. It's a sign, it's a symbol. And one of the features of the book of Revelation is it uses symbols continually. And often those symbols are interpreted by scriptures which have gone before. But Arnold Fruchtenbaum says that he's found 500 references in the book of Revelation to passages in the Old Testament, in the Hebrew prophets, and in the Torah. So there are signs which go back to the Old Testament, which you can interpret when you look at the book of Revelation. Which is interesting when you come to this sign, the first one, which is the woman. And going to say actually that the woman can represent in Roman Catholicism Mary, and you often see pictures of Mary in Roman Catholicism with 12 stars around her head. I think that actually that is the wrong interpretation, which we're going to show in a moment. I believe actually that the woman actually represents the one through whom the man-child, who's obviously Jesus, comes, and ultimately Jesus comes physically through Mary, but he comes also through the whole revelation given to the people of Israel in the scriptures, beginning with the Torah, then the prophets, and he comes out of that revelation, which is to look forward to the coming of the Messiah. So you can say actually that there are possibilities, and that's what I'm going to use today, that the woman actually represents Israel, which is going to have a purpose also in the last days with the restoration of Israel and the last battle, which will focus on the restored state of Israel and the status of Jerusalem, and the coming of the Messiah to Jerusalem to set up his messianic kingdom from Jerusalem. The dragon clearly represents Satan, and the man-child clearly represents Jesus, and you have also the angel Michael as the head of the angelic hosts, and you have the offspring of the woman, which is spoken of later in this chapter, which represents those who come to faith in Jesus, particularly, I believe, in this context, those who come to faith in Jesus during the Great Tribulation period. You go on to chapter 13, and it speaks about the beast who comes out of the sea, who represents the Antichrist, the world ruler, who's under Satan's power at the end of days, and the beast of the earth, who represents the false prophet, who promotes the antichrist.